All right, good afternoon, members. Hafaday, Tito Phi Show, and welcome to your House of Representatives, to all of you in the gallery, those viewing on the different platforms and on cable. I also like to recognize a special visitor out there in the gallery, Senator Jay Walter from Pohnpei. Welcome, sir. I hope you're enjoying your stay so far. And with that, I now call this first day, fifth special session to order. Please let us all rise for a moment of silence. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you, everyone. I now recognize the clerk to please call the roll.
Representative Vata,
Present.
Representative Aldan,
Here.
Representative Vato,
Present.
Representative Benavente,
Again.
Representative Angelo Camazzo,
Present.
Representative Diego Camazzo,
Present.
Representative Joel Camazzo,
Again.
Representative Vicente Camazzo,
Here.
Representative Castro,
Estica.
Representative Joseph Flores, Representative Marissa Flores,
Present.
Representative Manglotnia, Representative Vogel,
Present.
Representative Omar,
Present.
Representative Probst, Representative Sablan,
Estica.
Representative St. Nicholas,
Again.
Mr. Speaker,
Present.
Representative Yang Tamay,
Yangi.
Representative Yumo.
Present.
Mr. Speaker, 17 members are present and 3 members are absent.
Thank you, clerk. With 17 members present, that constitutes a quorum to move forward with today's session. Please note that Representatives Probst and Thomas John Manglotnia are hereby excused. Has anybody seen Representative Flores? Okay. Yeah, we'll note his attendance when he comes in. Thank you, clerk. We now move down to item number 2. Oh, and before we move forward, again, just for the record, I've appointed Representative Ralph Yumo to be our floor leader for today's session. And with that, we move down to item number 2, public comments, and the floor or the podium is open for public comments. You will be given 3 minutes to give your public comment, and also please state your name and the entity you represent. Thank you. Podium's open. And if you have written comments and would also like to submit that for the record, please go ahead and submit it to the Sergeant at Arms, who would then submit it to the clerk. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Speaker Villagomez, Vice Speaker Camacho, and Acting Floor Leader Yumo, representatives and staff. I'm Dr. Ann Earhart, a licensed clinical psychologist who's been practicing in the CNMI for over 26 years in both the public and private sector. I'm representing myself as well as my colleagues, Dr. Adrian Brand, Dr. Janet McCullough, Dr. Jennifer Maratita, and Dr. Amanda Borja Hughes. And I'd also like to recognize Dr. Glenda George in the gallery. We're all licensed clinical psychologists. I'm speaking in support of House Bill 2347, the Mental Health Coverage Act, which is a necessary next step in ensuring that the CNMI has access to mental health care. We'd like to thank Representative Omar and the House Health and Welfare Committee for supporting the passage of House Bill 2347 and recommending this bill to you. While the CNMI works on building capacity and mental health, the education and training process is a long one. The limited number of providers on island means that many people don't receive services when they need them. My waiting list is still over a year long, and people continue to call for appointments. In addition, Tinian and Rhoda have significant barriers to accessing mental health services. This reality resulted in the 22nd legislature passing the SIPAC bill, allowing qualified off-island psychologists to provide services via telehealth, as well as allowing those of us here who choose to be authorized under SIPAC to provide continuity of care to our patients who have moved temporarily or permanently off-island. However, the CNMI has no telehealth laws. In particular, we have none that ensure ongoing coverage for mental health. This means that there's no certainty that telehealth services will be covered or paid for by insurance plans. In fact, one regional insurance provider terminated telehealth coverage the very day that the public health emergency waivers ended on May 11th of this year, and another one has only committed to telehealth coverage through the end of this year. Most states have spent the last 2 to 3 years writing and amending their telehealth laws to permanently reflect that telehealth is here to stay, especially for mental health. Telehealth legislation has now been enacted in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. The Mental Health Coverage Act will make sure that mental health services delivered through telehealth in the CNMI are covered by private payers and government health plans, and that payment for mental health services delivered by telehealth is the same as for in-person visits. With this bill, people seeking help through telehealth will know that these services will be covered by their health plan, that they'll be covered by interstate compacts such as SIPACT, and that costs will not be higher than in-person services. And I also want to let you know that if you have any questions about this bill, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Podium is still open for public comments.
Good afternoon, Speaker Villagomez, members of 23rd Legislature. My name is Joseph Kevin Villagomez. I am the Director for the Community Guidance Center under the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation. And like Dr. Earhart, I'm here in support of House Bill 2347. I want to thank the Committee on Health that held a hearing a couple of weeks ago. And we submitted through comments from our CEO, Dr. Esther Munia, that I'm sure is already with the committee report. But I'm also here in person just to offer our support, especially as the head of the Behavioral Health division here at the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation. Behavioral health is an increasingly pressing concern in the CNMI, affecting individuals from all walks of life. And the telehealth services that this bill is addressing will provide a vital opportunity to extend care and support to those who may have limited access to in-person mental health services due to geographical, physical, or financial constraints. The pandemic further highlighted the need for accessible mental health care, as many individuals have faced heightened stress, anxiety, and depression. And when I say individuals, this includes also the very young in our community that we continue to address their needs. Telehealth services have proven to be an effective way of delivering mental health care to those in need of these challenges. And while we continue to work on our workforce development and working closely with the college to build our capacity, it is, like Dr. Earhart said, it's a long drawn process, but we continue to go down that path. The telehealth opportunity allows for immediate service to the people that may need it right here and now. So we want, I'm urging the rest of the House that are not part of the Health Committee to please take a look at the bill, hopefully vote. I'm asking you to vote in support of it. It really will contribute to better delivery of care for the people of the Commonwealth, especially for Rhodantinian that do have not only do they have limited access to it, they have not enough providers. Fortunately, we have one on Rhoda, but we're working on getting a provider for Tinian because the needs are there on a daily basis, and we receive calls from these places, and we have to fly out clinicians to take care of the crisis. So in closing, I just want to again thank the Committee on Health for addressing this, bringing this to the attention. It will benefit this community, and I'm asking the House to vote in support of it. Sizus Masian.
Thank you, Mr. Villagomez. Floor is still open for public comments.
Good afternoon, Speaker Villagomez and honorable members of the 23rd House of Representatives. Thank you for this public forum to express my support for House Bill 23-50, which is eliminating the marijuana from the pre-employment drug testing. The key word is pre-employment, marijuana is legal in the cinema. It's a recreational, as the cinema is in law. 21 years old to purchase. So I'd also like to disclosure that I'm a managing partner for Saipan Select, as well as a retired DPS commissioner and fire commissioner. So all you need to purchase marijuana, just like beer, is 21 years old, valid government license. Federal grants are not jeopardized because it's pre-employment. You know, um, Critical agencies have rules and regulation. As from DPS and fire, we have regulations in play that any employee who is under the influence of alcohol or marijuana or any other drug, there is adverse actions and response from the department through their investigation. Again, the key word is in pre-employment. It's not about having them on the job already. Job-related incidents like firefighter or police officer getting into an accident, they're subjugated to the same process of investigation internally and served with adverse action administratively by the department, the respective department. Could be suspension, could be reprimand, or could be termination. The departments all run random drug testing every month. They run an annual drug testing for all their employees once a year. And in those instances where there is positive reading, they're subjected again to internal investigation and either reprimand, suspension, or termination. In closing, it's about pre-employment members, and I hope you understand the process of it and the ability to eliminate the marijuana from the pre-employment drug testing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Narita. Floor is still open for public comments.
Alfredo Tiro, Speaker Villagomez, and honorable members of this 23rd House of Representative Legislature. My name is Francisco Cabrera. I'm currently the Acting Secretary for the Department of Commerce and also the Acting Commissioner for Insurance under the Department of Commerce. I'm here basically in support with the current House Bill 23-47. The length of the bill, I thank Honorable Representative Omar that in the establishment of the bill. However, the bill pretty much states that to establish clarity in coverage and payments for mental services delivered through telehealth and in person. The Department of Commerce fully support the intent of this bill, and we look forward that this particular bill will also strengthen out Public Law 23-22, and in bridging the gap that a health benefit plan shall cover telehealth services and in person. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cabrera. Podium still open for public comments.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker and members of the 23rd House. For the record, my name is Tina Sablan, and I'm here as a resident and concerned citizen and supporter of House Bill 2347. As the former Health and Welfare Chair in the 22nd Legislature, I worked closely with the members of the committee and the staff and with mental health providers in the community and advocates on the legislation that is now Public Law 2223 to enable the Commonwealth to join the Psychology Interjurisdictional Compact, or PsyPact, and thereby expand and enhance access to mental health services in the Marianas. But we recognized then that once the enabling PsyPact law was established, companion legislation was needed to follow in order to fully implement the intent of the new law. And this bill, House Bill 2347, is one such critical piece to ensure parity in coverage for mental health services delivered by telehealth as for in-person care. Parity is essential for equitable access to care. And I want to thank Chairman Omar and the members of the Health and Welfare Committee and the members of this body for your support of this legislation and the important work that you are doing to ensure and improve access to mental health services in the Marianas. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sablan.
Hafade Tiro, Castellalia Menko, Speaker Villa Gomez, and honorable members. My name is Sheila Jack Babauta, here representing Community Solutions, and I'm here to state my support for House Bill 23-47. I'd like to thank the author, Representative Malcolm Omar, and the members of the Health and Welfare Committee for their support on this bill. With the leadership of Dr. Ann Earhart and former Representative Tina Sablan, we have been able to engage with a number of stakeholders that you have heard from today: the Community Guidance Center, Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation, the Medicaid Office, and the Department of Commerce. Our community is in dire need of mental health services, and as a huge advocate for mental health in our community, it has been such an honor to work alongside Representative Tina in the 22nd legislature as a member of the Health and Welfare Committee. And so I was a part of the SIPAC legislation and discussions on that. And now being a part of this team who really are just passionate members of our community, working to ensure that our people have access and coverage to mental health services is really such an amazing thing to witness and be a part of. Our community suffers from generational trauma. We have colonization, centuries of colonization to unpack. There's climate grief, the pandemic. We have had 2 super typhoons and many strong ones afterwards. And so I think we can all agree on the level of services and guidance, counseling that's needed for our people. And so I really would like to thank this body and the members of the committee for their swift passage and adoption at the Health Committee meeting. We are here to help and to support if there are any questions regarding this bill. And I'm really, truly grateful. Thank you so much for your support. And please don't hesitate to reach out to any of us for any questions today. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Ms. Babauta. The podium is still open for public comments. Seeing that there is none, we'll move down to item number 3, adoption of journals, and I'd like to recognize the clerk. And before we move forward, clerk, please note the presence of Representative Joe Flores. Thank you. Thank you, clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Under item 3, adoption of journals, we have 2 items. The first is the second day, 3rd special session journal dated June 28, 2023, and first day, 4th special session journal dated July 7, 2023.
Thank you, clerk. I now like to recognize the floor leader for the motion to adopt journals. Floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll now move for the adoption of second day, 3rd special session journal dated June 28, 2023, and first day, 4th special session journal dated July 7, 2023. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made by the floor leader for the adoption of journals, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? All right, ready? All in favor to adopt the journals, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The journals are hereby adopted. Thank you, colleagues. We now move down to item number 4, introduction of bills, and I'd like to recognize Representative Manny Castro.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to introduce House Bill 23-64 to authorize local inmates in the CNMI Department of Corrections to be paid for the work they perform while in prison, sponsored by myself, and I welcome other members to join me in this sponsorship. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Castro. House Bill number 23-64 will be referred to the Committee on JGO. Next, for House Bill 2365, I'd like to recognize Representative Diego Camacho.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Formally introducing House Bill 23-65 to prohibit the selling of copper wire for a period of 2 years and for other purposes introduced by myself and several others and open to additional co-sponsors. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Diego Camacho. House Bill 23-65 will also be referred to the Committee on JGO. Thank you, colleagues. We now move down to item B from introduction of bills, House local bills, and I'd like to recognize Representative Patrick San Nicolas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is to formally introduce House Local Bill number 23-20. Is to amend 10 CMC subsection 2742 and subsection 2743 to establish the heavy mobile equipment environmental impact fee and for other purposes preferred by myself, Mr. Speaker. And I yield. Thank you.
We can co-sponsor if you like. Just kidding. Thank you, Representative San Nicolas. We now move down to the next House local bill, and I recognize Representative Manny Castro.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to introduce House Local Bill 23-21 to reappropriate $4,026 allotted under Saipan Local Law 19-3 and $40,334 allotted under Saipan Local Law 20-26 and for other purposes, introduced by myself and several others.
Thank you, Representative Castro. Of course, based on our House bills, House rules, House Local Bill 23-21 goes to Ways and Means. Thank you, colleagues. We now move down to introduction of resolutions, and under item A, we have none. Under item B, House Joint Resolutions, we have one, and I'd like to recognize Representative Angelo Camacho.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Introducing House Joint Resolution number 23-1 to authorize the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands through its governor to submit to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development the action plan for the Community Development Block Grant application number B-23-ST69-001, the Home Investment Partnership Grant application number M-23-ST69-0203, the Housing Trust Fund HTF grant application number F-23-ST69-0203, and the Emergency Solutions grant application number E-23-DC69-001 to receive the funds requested therein and to assume all responsibilities that may be imposed by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Community Development Block Grant, Home Investment Partnership Program, and the Emergency Solutions Grant Program, pre-filed by myself and several others. And I just want to inform you all, if you need further clarification, I will yield to Congressman BJ Atto. Thank you.
Representative Angelo, would you like a quick recess after reading that long title? And if there's no objection to the author, if we could introduce this as a committee of the whole. Any objections, colleagues? All right, thank you, clerk. Please note that. And if there's no objection, I'd like to place this on today's resolution calendar for action. Thank you, colleagues. Under item C, House commemorative resolutions, we have none. Actually, we have one. I'm sorry. And I'd like to recognize Representative Denita Yanktonai.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm formally introducing House Commemorative Resolution number 23-6 to congratulate and honor Grand Master Navigator Cesario Seuralur and the 12-member crew of the Alingana Maisu, pre-filed by myself and several others. Thank you. And I welcome others.
Okay, thank you, Representative Yanktonai. And again, if there's no objection with the author, if we can introduce this as a committee of the whole.
No objection.
Thank you. We now move down to item D, House concurrent resolutions. We have none. We now move down to item number 6, messages from the governor, and I recognize the clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Under item 6, we just have one item, Governor's Communication 23-39.
Thank you, clerk. Any discussions under governor's communication? Ready, colleagues? All right, thank you. We now move down to item number 7, Senate communications, and I recognize the clerk.
Thank you again, Mr. Speaker. Under item 7, Senate Communications, we have several communications from the Senate. Senate Communication 23-34 to 23-41.
Thank you, clerk. I'd now like to recognize the floor leader for the motion to accept Senate communications.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'll move that the House accept Senate Communication number 23-34 through 23-41 to become property of the House. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made for the acceptance of the Senate communications so that they become the property of the House, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? All right. All in favor to accept Senate communications, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Senate communications are hereby accepted. Under Senate Communication 23-40, I will refer that to the Committee on JGO. Thank you, colleagues. We'll now move down to item number 8, House Communications, and I recognize the clerk.
Thank you once again, Mr. Speaker. On item 8, we just have one item, House Communication 23-49.
Thank you, clerk. Any discussions under House Communications? Ready? All right. Thank you, colleagues. We now move down to item number 9, communications from the judicial branch. We have none. Item number 10, communications from the departments and agencies. We have none. Item number 11, miscellaneous communications. We have none. We now move down to item number 12, reports of standing committees, and I recognize the clerk.
Thank you once again, Mr. Speaker. Under item 12, reports of standing committees, we have 7 committee reports ready for House action. Standing Committee Report 23-30 through 23-36.
Thank you, clerk. I'd now like to recognize the floor leader for the adoption of standing committee reports.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'll move to adopt Standing Committee Report 23-30, reporting on House Bill number 23-33, entitled to improve standards in bail proceedings by establishing bail procedures, authorizing denial of bail, imposing conditions of release, and protecting victims. Your House Committee on Judicial and Governmental Operation recommends that the House passes the bill in the form of House Bill number 23-33 HS1. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made for the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 23-30, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? All right. All in favor to adopt Standing Committee Report 23-30, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Standing Committee Report 23-30 is hereby adopted. Floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'll move for the adoption of Standing Committee Report 23-31, reporting on House Bill number 23-46, entitled to amend Title I, Division 2, Part 1, Chapter 3, Article 3, Subsection 2153H of the Commonwealth Code to exclude public corporations and autonomous agencies from obtaining the Office of Attorney General Services and for other purposes. Your House Committee on Judicial and Governmental Operation recommends that the House pass the bill in the form of House Bill number 23-46 HS1. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made for the adoption of Standing Committee Report 23-31, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Okay, all in favor to adopt Standing Committee Report 23-31, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Standing Committee Report 23-31 is hereby adopted. Floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'll move for the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 23-32, reporting on House Bill number 23-48, entitled to amend Title IV, Division 9 of the Commonwealth Code to place the apprenticeship program within the Department of Labor and to repeal 3 CMC subsection 1351 through subsection 1358 in their entirety. And for other purposes, your House Committee on Judicial and Governmental Operations recommend that the House passes House Bill number 23-48 in its current form. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made for the adoption of Standing Committee Report 23-32, and it has been seconded. Any discussion? Ready? Okay, all in favor to adopt Standing Committee Report 23-32, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Standing Committee Report 23-32 is hereby adopted. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'll move for the adoption of Standing Committee Report 23-33, reporting on House Bill number 23-50, entitled "To Remove Marijuana from All Pre-Employment Drug Testing for Government Applicants with certain exceptions and for other purposes." Your House Committee on Judicial and Government Operation recommends that the House passes House Bill number 23-50 in its current form. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made for the adoption of Standing Committee Report 23-33, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Thank you. All in favor? Recognize Okay. All in favor to adopt Standing Committee Report 23-33, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Standing Committee Report number 23-33 is hereby adopted. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I'll move for the adoption of Standing Committee Report 23-34, reporting on House Bill number 23-51, entitled "To Amend 9 CMC subsection 3114 by requiring the Department of Public Safety rules and regulation regarding commercial vehicles to be consistent with those of the United States Department of Transportation's Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, and for other purposes." Your House Committee on Judicial and Governmental Operation recommends that the House pass House Bill number 23-51 in its current form. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made for the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 23-34, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? All in favor to adopt Standing Committee Report number 23-34, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Standing Committee Report 23-34 is hereby adopted. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'll move for this adoption of Standing Committee Report number 23-35, reporting on House Bill number 23-47, entitled "To Establish Parity in Coverage and Payments of Mental Health Services Delivered Through the Telehealth and in Person." Your House Committee on Health and Welfare recommends that the House pass House Bill number 23-47 in its current form. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made for the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 23-35, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? All right. All in favor to adopt Standing Committee Report 23-35, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Standing Committee Report number 23-35 is hereby adopted. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I will now offer a motion to adopt Standing Committee Report number 23-36, reporting on Senate Joint Resolution number 23-02, entitled "Requesting Governor Arnold I. Palacios to task the Division of Revenue and Taxation to collect all business gross revenue tax owed to the Commonwealth government." Your committee, your House Committee on Ways and Means recommend that the House pass Senate Joint Resolution number 23-02 in its current form. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made for the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 23-36, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Okay. All in favor to adopt Standing Committee Report 23-36, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Standing Committee Report 23-36 is hereby adopted. Thank you, colleagues. We now move down to item number 13, reports of special and conference committees. We have none. Item number 14, unfinished business. We have none. And now we move down to the resolution calendar, item number 15, and I recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll now move for the adoption of House Joint Resolution number 23-1, a House Joint Resolution to authorize the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands and through its governor to submit to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development the action plan for the Community Block Grant Application number B23 ST69001, the Home Investment Partnership Grant Application number M23 ST69-0203, the Housing Committee Trust Fund grant application number F23ST69-0203 and the emergency solution grant application number E23DC69-0001 to receive the funds requested therein and to assume all responsibilities that may be imposed by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Community Development Grant Home Investment Partnership Program and the Emergency Solution Grant Program. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made for the adoption of House Joint Resolution number 23-1, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Okay, Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Bata,
Yes.
Representative Aldan,
Yes.
Representative Atal,
Yes.
Representative Benavente,
Good.
Representative Angelo Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Diego Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho,
Good.
Representative Vicente Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Castro,
Good.
Representative Joseph Flores,
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores,
Yes.
Representative Ogo,
Yes.
Representative Omar,
Hungan.
Representative Sablan,
Hungan.
Representative Siniclas,
Hungan.
Representative Yangtamay,
Aware.
Representative Yumo,
Yes.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 18 members present voted yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With all 18 members present voting yes, House Joint Resolution number 23-1 is hereby adopted. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll now move for the adoption of House commemorative resolution number 23-6, a House commemorative resolution to congratulate and honor Grandmaster Navigator Cesario Serralur and 12 members crew of the Alinganao Maisu. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made for the adoption of commemorative resolution number 23-6, and it has been seconded. Any discussions?
Ready.
Rep. Yanktamai, did he pronounce that all right? Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you, colleagues. All in favor to adopt commemorative resolution 23-6, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Commemorative resolution number 23-6 is hereby adopted. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will now offer a motion to adopt Senate Joint Resolution number 23-02, a Senate Joint Resolution requesting Governor Arnold I. Palacios to task the Division of Revenue and Taxation to collect all business gross revenue tax owed to the Commonwealth government. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made for the adoption of Senate Joint Resolution number 23-2, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Recognize Representative Manny Castro.
While it's a worthy intention, I feel that this resolution, it's already within the governor's prerogative to have this done, and at the same time, I believe it's already their job. So that's all I got to say about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Manny Castro. Any further discussions?
Ready.
Ready?
Mhm.
All right, Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Bata,
Yes.
Representative Aldan,
Yes.
Representative Atal,
Yes.
Representative Benavente,
Hungan.
Representative Angelo Camacho,
No.
Representative Diego Camacho,
Respectfully, no.
Representative Joel Camacho,
Hungan.
Representative Vicente Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Castro,
No.
Representative Joseph Flores,
No.
Representative Marissa Flores,
Yes.
Representative Ogo,
Yes.
Representative Omar,
No.
Representative Sablan,
Okay.
Representative Siniclas,
Hungan.
Representative Yangtamay,
Aware.
Representative Yumo. Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, 11 members voted yes and 6 members voted no and 1 member is present.
Thank you, Clerk. With 11 voting yes, Senate Joint Resolution number 23-02 is hereby adopted. Thank you, colleagues. We now move down to item number 16, Bill Calendar, and I recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I now move to pass House Bill number 23-33, a bill for an act to amend the Code of Criminal Procedures to describe judicial discretion to deny bail under certain circumstances. And I apologize, it's House Bill number 23-33 HS1. So move.
Mr. Speaker, point of clarification, can we take a short recess? I think they're
Uh,
reading the
quick-
wrong title. of
Quick
the-
recess. Colleagues, we'll rise back to session. And again, I'd like to recognize the floor leader.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll go one more time. I will now move for the adoption or pass House Bill number 23-33 SH1, a bill for an act to amend the Code of Criminal Procedure to describe judicial discretion to deny bail under certain circumstances. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made for the passage of House Bill number 23-33 HS1, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Recognize Representative Marissa Flores.
Thank you, Speaker. At this time, I'd just like to, thank the committee for, providing their input. This has been a drawn-out bill that has been back and forth with both the AG's office and the public defender. But I think after much discussion, we finally found a balance that protects both their civil rights in addition to protecting the community as far as repeat violent offenders are concerned. And in today's paper, again, another individual who was on probation, who's a repeat violent offender, was arrested for choking his wife. So this bill aims to allow the judicial court the freedom and their discretion to establish an appropriate bail with the prosecution and the public defender conducting its due diligence and its job to protect the public and to protect the defendant in what they do. Thank you, I yield. And I ask for your support on this bill. Colleagues, thank you, I yield.
Thank you, Chairwoman Marissa Flores. Floor is still open for discussions. I recognize Representative Vincent O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and colleagues. So I just wanted to clarify that, when I voted yes for the Senate Joint Resolution number 23-02, I totally agree that, we shouldn't have any.
Point of order, Representative O'Donnell, we are under Bill Calendar now.
My bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. I mean, so you have any discussion for this House bill? Okay. Floor is still open for discussions for House Bill 23-33 HS1. Ready? All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Vanta,
Ungara.
Representative Aldan,
Yes.
Representative Atal,
Yes.
Representative Benavente,
Good.
Representative Angelo Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Diego Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho,
Good.
Representative Vicente Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Castro,
Yes.
Representative Joseph Flores,
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores,
Yes.
Representative Vogel,
Yes.
Representative Omar,
Ungan.
Representative Sablan,
Ungan.
Representative Nicolas,
Ungan.
Representative Yangtamay,
Aware.
Representative Yumo,
Yes.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 18 members present voted yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With all 18 members present voting yes, House Bill number 23-33 HS1 hereby passes the House. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I now move to pass House Bill number 23-46 HS1, a bill for an act to exclude public corporation and autonomous agencies from obtaining the Office of Attorney General services and authorize private counsel and for other purposes. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made for the passage of House Bill number 23-46, House Substitute 1, and it has been seconded. Floor is open for discussion. Ready? All right, Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Vada,
Yeah.
Representative Aldan,
Yes.
Representative Vato,
Yes.
Representative Benavente, Representative Angelo Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Diego Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho,
Presente.
Representative Vicente Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Castro,
Yes.
Representative Joseph Flores,
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores,
Yes.
Representative Vogel,
Yes.
Representative Omar,
Ungan.
Representative Sablan,
Ungan.
Representative Nicolas,
Ungan.
Representative Yangtamay,
Aware.
Representative Yumo,
Yes.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, 17 members voted yes and 1 member is present.
Thank you, Clerk. With 17 members voting yes, House Bill number 23-46, House Substitute 1 hereby passes the House. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'll move to pass House Bill number 23-47, a bill for an act to establish parity in coverage and payments for mental health services delivered through telehealth and in person. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made for the passage of House Bill number 23-47, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? All right, Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Vada,
Yes.
Representative Aldan,
Yes.
Representative Vato,
Yes.
Representative Benavente,
Ungan.
Representative Angelo Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Diego Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho,
Ungan.
Representative Vicente Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Castro,
Yes.
Representative Joseph Flores,
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores,
Yes.
Representative Vogel,
Yes.
Representative Omar,
Ungan.
Representative Sablan,
Ungan.
Representative Nicolas,
Ungan.
Representative Yangtamay,
Hungan.
Representative Yumo,
Yes.
Mr. Speaker.
Aware.
Mr. Speaker, all 18 members present voted yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With 18 members present voting yes, House Bill number 23-47 hereby passes the House. Quick recess, colleagues. And when we went on recess, we just passed, before we went on recess, we passed House Bill number 23-47. And we're still under bill calendar, and I recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I'll move for the passage of House Bill number 2348, a bill for an act to amend Title 4, Division 9 of the Commonwealth Code to place the apprenticeship program within the Department of Labor and to repeal 3 CMC subsection 1351 through subsection 1358 in their entirety and for other purposes. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made for the passage of House Bill number 23-48, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Okay, clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Vanda?
Yes.
Representative Aldan?
Yes.
Representative Vato?
Yes.
Representative Benavente?
Again.
Representative Angelo Camacho?
Yes.
Representative Diego Camacho?
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho?
Again.
Representative Vicente Camacho?
Yes.
Representative Castro?
Yes.
Representative Joseph Flores?
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores?
Yes.
Representative Vogel?
Yes.
Representative Omar?
Again.
Representative Sablan?
Again.
Representative Nicolas?
Again.
Representative Yanktamay?
Hongan.
Representative Yumo?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker?
Aware.
Mr. Speaker, all 18 members present voted yes.
Thank you, clerk. With all 18 members present voting yes, House Bill number 23-48 hereby passes the House. Floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I'll move to pass House Bill number 23-51, a bill for an act to remove marijuana from all pre-employment drug testing for government applicants. 50. 23. 2350. I apologize. A bill for an act to remove marijuana from all pre-employment drug testing for government applicants with certain exception and for other purposes. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made for the passage of House Bill number 23-50, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Recognize Representative Manny Castro.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. While I support the intent of this legislation, given the fact that the shortfall in funding allocated to drug testing at OPM, oftentimes by the time they catch, identify individuals that have been under the influence, it's already years into their employment. So in essence, it's a better medium to catch them prior to employment, and it saves the government more money by filtering prior to. So, my stance on this is the intent is good. However, it might cost us more in the long run. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Castro. I'd like to recognize the author.
Thank you, Speaker and colleagues. The intent of this legislation really is to, there was no follow-up legislation after 20-66. So this is really to, how do you say, what's the word? So just to be in line with that legislation, right? Because it was not addressed in 2066. And really the intent of this legislation is for the initial drug testing. Anything after that is on the employee or on the employer, right? So, and it does, and it also addresses that any position that is fairly funded, even partially, that would be the exception to include positions that are safety sensitive. And it also authorizes the Director of Personnel to identify these positions. So I hope that clarifies any concern regarding. No, thank you, Mr. Speaker and colleagues.
Thank you, Representative Diego Camacho. Any further discussions? Recognize Representative Roman Benavente.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With regards to this bill, Mr. Speaker, I am supporting it for the fact that it's already a law. It's already approved here in the CNMI. We're allowed to use it, and not only that, the health benefit. There are some health benefit behind it that really helps in the community, and I know abuse part of the drug abuse part and everything that we are in guard for. But with this kind of situation right now, I am supporting it for the basic fact that you know I'm looking at the health part, and at the same time, like what Representative uh, Camacho said, is that it's up to the people that's hiring the person if they're upon testing. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Benavente. Recognize Representative Vicente Camacho.
I'm in support of this bill, and here's what I think. We're always talking about workforce. There's a lot of people out there that want to work, but this seems to be the blocker. Um, it's already here. I think that people are smart enough to understand that when you do accept the job, that there are policies to follow. So I support this bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Vicente Camacho. Any further discussions? Ready? All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Fata,
Yes.
Representative Aldan,
Yes.
Representative Fato,
Yes.
Representative Benavente,
Again.
Representative Angelo Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Diego Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho,
Okay.
Representative Vicente Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Castro,
Respectfully, no.
Representative Joseph Flores,
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores,
Yes.
Representative Vogel,
Yes.
Representative Omar,
Ungan.
Representative Sablan,
Ungan. Ungan.
Representative San Nicolas,
Ungan.
Representative Yanktamay,
Yes.
Representative Yumo,
Yes.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, 17 members voted yes and 1 member voted no.
Thank you, clerk. With 17 members voting yes, House Bill number 23-50 hereby passes the House. Floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I now move to pass House Bill number 2351, a bill for an act to amend 9 CMC subsection 3114 by requiring the Department of Public Safety's rules and regulation regarding commercial vehicle to be consistent with those of the United States Department of Transportation's Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration and for other purposes. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made for the passage of House Bill number 23-51, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Recognize Representative Marissa Flores.
I'm sorry, Speaker. May I request for a short recess, please?
Yes, short recess. And before we went to recess, we were discussing House Bill number 23-51 under discussions, and Representative Marissa Flores had the floor. So I recognize Representative Marissa Flores.
Thank you, Speaker. At this time, I'd like to offer an amendment to House Bill 2351. And I'd like to inform the body that the amendment will be on page 8, line 18, and continues to page 9, line 2. In the original version, is this why I made this? In the original version, the definition for motor vehicle was left unchanged. With the new definition language presented in the House substitute version, it purposely leaves out vehicles that are on a rail lane. Such rail lane falls under the purview of the Federal Railroad Administration, FRA, another agency under the Department of Transportation. It is intended of the proposed substitute to only address matters that are specifically under the purview of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, such as commercial motor vehicle, which is there on page 8, line 18. With that being said, I ask that you all support the proposed substitute to allow for the motor vehicles to be properly defined pursuant to the DOT and FMCA's rules and regulations. That's really the changes, was to clearly define commercial motor vehicle. Any questions? So move.
And I support the motion, but I think we need just clarity, Mr. Speaker,
Okay,
for the
recognize.
members, if that's okay with the mover. I think the intent of the mover is just to make define motor vehicle much clearer to marry the federal side, so that should the federal guidelines change the definition of motor vehicle, it will allow our statute to also adopt the changes, allow at least DPS to adopt the changes with motor vehicle rather than coming back to the legislature to change our regulations or our statute to mirror the federal guidelines. I believe that's the intent, right? And I second that motion.
Thank you, Representative Marissa Flores. A floor amendment in the form of a House substitute has been offered by Representative Marissa Flores, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? All in favor for the floor amendment offered by Representative Marissa Flores, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The floor amendment is hereby adopted. We now move back to the main motion, which is for the passage of House Bill number 23-51, House Substitute 1. Any further discussions? Ready? Okay, clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Ata? Representative Aldon?
Yes.
Representative Attal?
Yes.
Representative Benavente?
Good.
Representative Angelo Camacho?
Yes.
Representative Diego Camacho?
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho?
Good.
Representative Vicente Camacho?
Yes.
Representative Castro?
Yes.
Representative Joseph Flores?
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores?
Yes.
Representative Vogel?
Yes.
Representative Omar?
Ungan.
Representative Sablan?
Ungan.
Representative San Nicolas?
Ungan.
Representative Yanktamay?
Yes.
Representative Yumo?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 18 members present voted yes.
Thank you, clerk. With all 18 members present voting yes, House Bill number 23-51, HS1, hereby passes the House. All right, thank you, colleagues. That takes care of the bill calendar. We now move down to item number 17, miscellaneous business, and the floor is open. Recognize Representative Vincent Oda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So I sorry for jumping the gun there earlier. I just wanted to comment on Senate Joint Resolution number 23-02, entitled Requesting Governor Arnold I. Palacios to task the Division of Revenue and Taxation to collect all business gross revenue tax owed to the Commonwealth government. Now, I truly understand, and I do agree that we in the legislature shouldn't have any say in, to tell the executive branch what to do and what not to do. But at the same time, we do have the power of the purse. And when it comes to the power of the purse, how are we to, approve the budget or divvy out the budget when we are 10 years, as the news said, in errors in collecting at the tune of over 120 million? So yes, it's not our job to tell the governor what to do with his agencies and whatnot. But if they're coming over here asking for funding, but yet they're not collecting the funding, What are we doing? And this is not just, and that's the reason why that I didn't want to participate so much with the, with the Ways and Means when they're having the meeting, because it is not just, collecting their BGRT, but let's say, for example, zoning. Zoning has the power under their administrative rule to issue violations, citations. And if the public doesn't or the business doesn't, cooperate, they can issue fines. I've not seen any fines coming in from zoning, but yet there are a lot of dilapidated, blighted properties all over the island that are not being fined. Those are revenues that are just, going to the wayside. So if zoning, DPW, and the mayor's office are not doing their part on issuing citations, and at the same time, it also beautifies our island, and it gets businesses and, residential, homes, being responsible, clean up the place, make it look presentable. If we want to be the first rate tourist destination, we definitely cannot be, having, you know, junk cars parked inside of the road, half built buildings, not completed. So yes, it isn't. I totally understand and I totally agree that we should not be telling the executive branch what to do. But when it comes to funding, yes, I think we do need to tell them what to do because evidently somebody's not doing their job. Thank you, and I yield.
Thank you, Representative Vincent Aldan. Floor is still open under miscellaneous. Ready? Ready? All right, we'll move down to the next item, item number 18, announcements. I recognize Representative Vincent Aldan.
Thank you again, Mr. Speaker. So us in Precinct 1 candidate, representatives, already election season is coming. But we've been sponsoring a OSHA class. Yeah, for the most part, it's free of charge at the beginning level, and there's a reason why we're doing that, and that is to help the workforce prepare themselves to understand how to work safely, and to protect the safety and health of our workforce, and at the same time, it benefits the businesses on not having to pay for their employees to attend or to be certified to take these class. So we're hoping that maybe we can spread it out to the rest of the community and not just for the third senatorial district, but for the first and second as well. And we truly do believe that providing something that costs money that people outside don't have, and at the same time businesses trying to save money, I think that us in Precinct 1 are doing our part to try to help out, and we're reaching out to the rest of the house to if you guys wanna collaborate and we could spread it all out to the whole island. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Aldan. Floor is still open under announcements. I recognize Representative Julie Ogle.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you for extending that collaboration, possible collaboration with the first and second senator. But yes, we do need to, offer that opportunity, to both islands, other than the third senatorial, for the safety of any, work environment and be in compliance with the law. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Julie Ogle. Recognize Representative Roy Adda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just to remind everybody and the viewing public that the flame tree kicks off tonight. Also to Senator from Pohnpei, thank you for gracing us with your presence. Hopefully you can go and check out the Flame Tree Festival that's gonna kick off tonight and over the weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Roy Adda. I recognize Representative Denita Yanktamay.
Thank you, Chair. He mentioned it already. Please come, it's payday.
You have a booth? Just kidding. Floor is still open. Recognize Representative Julie Ogle.
Thank you, Rep Ada, for reminding about the flame tree. I would like to welcome our, our people from Rhoda that are here, the artists from Rhoda, to the flame tree. And if any of you are going to be at the flame tree, please stop by our local booth. And there's local medicines been offered and arts and crafts. So if you're looking for laboratorio, now's the time to get that. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Julie Ogle. Representative Patrick, did you invite the artists from Tinian to come down?
Hello, Mr. Speaker. Just not. I think they're over in Guam for the Mango Festival as well. So, yeah, over the what do you Agat Village? Yes.
Recognize Representative Roman Beneventi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and to all of you guys coming from the elders. Yeah, I like to say this that I like you. I just wish you to enjoy your entire weekend and enjoy the festival that is going on tonight. And don't forget to get Chiku because this happening tonight over at the Kensington. So go get Chiku over there. Si Jus Masi, thank you.
Si Jus Masi, Saina. Floor is still open under announcements. All right, so yeah, please don't forget the flame tree. All right, with nothing further, we move down to adjournment, and I recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I'll move to adjourn subject to the call of the chair. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made for adjournment, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? All in favor to adjourn, please say aye. All opposed, stay. The ayes have it. The session's hereby adjourned.